getting in these three subjects, from these three subjects? या किसी ने किया ही नहीं अभी तक कोई भी टेस्ट? Did anyone practice the test on the test center website, and did you solve the 150 questions in 3 hours or 2.30 minutes? किसी ने नहीं किया अभी तक? कर लेना चाहिए था. Or you don't want to tell me, you want to be secret? तो करो, क्वेश्चंस करो, है ना. टाइम आ गया वो जब तुम्हें क्वेश्चंस कर लेने चाहिए. और when you have exams 23 na, how many of you are writing the online exam? Siddharth offline, Anurag offline, Bablu offline, Sakshi, are you doing online or offline? नहीं, in your turn, I'm talking about the test center website. Did you practice the questions, 150 questions on the test center website? Sakshi offline, Kalagi offline, Mani Dheeraj not writing, and Sui Sandhu is online, right? So many of you are around, like you will write the exams offline. So around 22 or 23rd we will be having 1 month. From 23rd month I will share you schedule, and that things you have to do practice daily one question paper, and so that we will able to finish all the question paper on the time. Okay, then do it. If you know, then do it. Okay, so let's start the question. Group 2 therapy. एक सेकंड. Okay, so let's start. And many questions, most of the questions we already done in the pedia or surgery or in all these things. So question number the first, and we have the therapy 2024 therapy base, and we have to start the question number 1. Now question number 1 is saying a 47-year-old woman complains of having paroxysmal headache is there for the last 5 years. If the headache questions will come, so the one thing you need to remember about the duration, the one thing you should be remember about the durations. After that we see the pain is one-sided, means unilateral pain is there, intense localized where in the frontal region of the head, accompanied by the nausea and stomach discomfort. If you see the unilateral, it can be the migraine or it can be the cluster headache. If you see the nausea and vomitings, then it can be the migraine. Begins one of sudden onset is usually preceded by vision reduction. So what we have seen, vision reduction is there. And anamnesis means past history. It giving the evidence of periodical epirise at the moment. The woman does not take any medicine. In between the onset of the headache, her state is satisfactory. High calorie diet is given. Neurological state has no peculiarity. What is the most probable diagnosis? So let's talk about the headache. See, when we talk about the headache. So headache, it can be the primary headache or it can be the secondary headache. It can be the primary headache or it can be the secondary headache. Primary headache, it is just a benign conditions, like it's just for the short period of the times. But if we talk about the secondary one, so secondary one we call this condition as that it is a malignant type of the conditions. In primary headache we will be having like it is a benign type of conditions, and secondary it will be like malignant conditions. Secondary it will be like malignant conditions. Then after that remember, I think किसी को वॉइस इशू नहीं हो रहा, ठीक है. तो primary that is the benign and the secondary we will be having that is the malignant conditions. And benign देखो, because whatever we see like whether it is a tension headache, what is the migraine or the cluster headache, so what we will see this type of the headache, they are the primary headache. So benign conditions, they can be the recurrent, there can be the recurrent headache. Along with that we can see there is no disease associated with these conditions. There is no disease associated with these conditions. The secondary means that some disease due to some disorder, like some trauma can be there, head injury can be there, or hemorrhage can be there, vascular disorders can be there. So due to that conditions we will be having secondary headache. Hemorrhage can be there, the head injury can be there, or any trauma can be there, infections can be there, and the systemic infection, it is the most common cause of the most common type of the secondary headache. Okay. Then in primary, remember we have the three types. Which three types? We will be having the migraine, we will be having the tension headache, and we will be having the third one, that is like depending on the trigeminal's autonomic conditions. So we have in our syllabus that is the cluster headache. That is the cluster headache. There are other example also, but they are not so common also. But that's why we will discuss just migraine, tension, and the cluster headache, and that are the important one. Now देखो, अभी let's we having the tension headache, then we have the migraine, and we will be having the cluster headache. So these are three type of the primary headaches that we will gonna discuss. If we talk about the tension headache, the tension headache, it is the bilateral conditions. It is the bilateral conditions. Migraine, it is what? It is the unilateral conditions, and the cluster headache again it will be the unilateral conditions. Means what we will see in the tension there will be the bilateral, migraine the unilateral, and the clusters there will be the unilateral conditions. After that, second point, remember, if we talk about the features of these headache. So in tension headache we see there is a constant pain or the steady pain will be there. Steady pain or the constant pain will be there. But instead of we talk about the migraine. So in migraine we see there is a throbbing or pulsating pain will be there. There is a throbbing or pulsating pain will be there. After that, what we will see in the cluster headache. In cluster headache we see there will be the repetitive brief headache. There will be the repetitive brief headache will be there. Means this headache will be the repetitive. Along with that, in cluster headache, or you in the options you got the that is some periorbital edema, periorbital pain is there. तो समझ जाना वो किसकी बात कर रहा है, cluster headache की. So if you are seeing repetitive brief with periorbital pain, so that means he is talking about the cluster headache. Second thing, important one, that is the duration. If they will ask you what is the duration of this headache, so duration, remember, if it is more than 30 minutes, if it is more than 30 minutes, like around 4 to 6 hours, so we called it as the tension headache. Migraine, the durations will be 4 to 72 hours, 4 to 72 hours, and in cluster we see that is around 15 minutes to 3 hours. It is around 15 minutes to 3 hours. 4 to 6 hour, 4 to 72 hours, and 15 minute to the 3 hours. That is the duration of these headache. After that, there is other important sign. We see that there is a fourth one, that is about some association. Now I told you that nausea vomiting है तो migraine होगा, अगर lacrimation conjunctivitis है तो cluster होगा. Same like if the no photophobia, no nausea, no vomiting, so which headache is there? So that is a tension headache. So there is a no photophobia, and there will be the no phonophobia. So that means he is talking about the tension headache. In migraine, what we see, in migraine there will be the nausea, there will be the vomiting, there will be the photophobia, or there will be the phonophobia. So all these things we will see in case of the migraine. But if we talk about further the cluster headache, so cluster headache, what we will see, the lacrimation. Agar if you see there is a periorbital pain, along with that you see the lacrimation. Along that what you see, there is a lacrimation is there, and along with the lacrimation you see there is a some rhinorrhea will be there. Lacrimation or rhinorrhea will be there. It means that this is what, which headache is there, that is the cluster headache will be there. Migraine, nausea, vomiting, photophobia, phonophobia will be there, and cluster there is a lacrimation or the rhinorrhea. मेरे साथ बोलेंगे migraine, nausea, vomiting. Speak out with me. Migraine, nausea, vomiting, photophobia, phonophobia. Duration 4 to 72 hours. Cluster headaches, durations that is 15 minutes to 3 hours. Lacrimation and rhinorrhea. Lacrimation and rhinorrhea will be there. Cluster headache, repeated brief headache with the periorbital edema, 15 minutes to 3 hours. Lacrimation plus rhinorrhea will be there. Tension headache, no photophobia, no phonophobia. Migraine, nausea, vomiting. Along with that, photophobia, phonophobia will be there. The cluster headache, lacrimation or rhinorrhea will be there. Okay, is that clear? Again, for the treatment, if I ask you what the treatment, there is one more thing about the aura. So aura means like if anything he seeing, something is surrounding him, that is what we call the aura. उसको चारों तरफ घुमावता कुछ दिख रहा है, घूमता हुआ कुछ दिख रहा है, तो उसको क्या बोलता है, aura. So इसमें क्या होता है, no aura will be seen. इसमें may have aura. Now aura can be present or absent. You can write it like that. Aura, it can be present or it can be the absent. In this condition, aura will be present, but aura will be associated with one condition, that is the Horner syndromes. If Horner syndromes will be there, then these patients will be having the aura. Other than that, they can ask you the treatment for these conditions. The treatment, you know, you can here give the NSAID, any analgesics can be given because this is just a tension headache. In this condition, we having the, can you tell me the profile axis of the migraine? Which profile axis is used for the migraine? The profile axis of the migraines. Which drug is used as the profile axis of the migraine? The treatment NSAID, and remember the triptan. Then the triptan is the drug of the choice for the migraine. Triptan is the drug of the choice for the migraine. Other than that, we can, in the cluster headaches, we can use the sumatriptan and 100% oxygens. And what we can use, sumatriptan and 100% oxygens will be there. Okay, can you tell me what is the who joined the class late? The propranolol is the correct answer. Who joined the class late? Please attend within the 10 minutes. After that, I will not allow you from the next class. अरे मैं ही गायब हो गया यार. sorry. Actually phone got switched off तो इस वजह से ठीक है. So what you have seen, the sumatriptan or 100% oxygens. Then after that we have the NSAID or the triptan, that is the drug of the choice, and we will be having the sumatriptan, and the sumatriptan 100% oxygens will be there. So these are the, and prophylaxis, the Kalagi was right that what prophylaxis we can use for the migraine, that is propranolol, it will be used. I told you, I think in the class, in the pediatrics class. Okay, so that remember there will be the stabbing pains, and sometimes we can this stabbing, sometimes we can be having stabbing or boring pain. We can call this as the stabbing or the boring pain will be there. If you see the throbbing pain or pulsating pain, that is the migraines, and that repeated brief headaches with the periorbital edema. Other than that, we will be have the secondary headache, and the secondary headache, there are some dangerous headache. We can also call that as the dangerous headache. This is also known as the dangerous headache. Why the dangerous? Because it involves the CNS infection. It involves the CNS infections. The vascular cause, they can be the benign intracranial hypertension will be there. Many are the secondary, like it can be the hemorrhage due to head injury, due to the trauma, due to the benign intracranial hypertensions, or tuberculoma, neurocysticercosis, any hemorrhage will be there. So all these things will be there, and the features you will see in this condition, the features that you will see, the patients will be having sudden onset severe headache will be there. Sudden onset severe headache will be there. Or like in case of the subarachnoid hemorrhage, we will be having some time of, we have thunderclap headache. We will be having headache, that is a thunderclap headache will be seen. Okay, and it's such type of the headache in which we see there is a disturbance of the sleep will also be there. So the most probably they will ask you from the tension, migraine, and the cluster headache. And the cluster they can give you in the options lacrimation or the rhinorrhea. Migraine they will given in the option nausea, vomiting, photophobia, phonophobia. Tension they will not give you such stabbing or the boring pain. Or you can say like band like, the tension we see the band like pain. We see the band like if the patient is there, so in that regions we will see there is a band like pain. So here you will see the complete details. In case of the migraines, we will see the migraine, there will be the pain will be the unilateral pain. The pain will be the unilaterals. In clusters, what we will see, if this patient is there, so we will see the pain will be here around the periorbital. So that is the cluster headache. Okay. And this was our questions, that it's showing us that there is frontal region of that one-sided vision reduction is there, and what we have seen that I think photophobia, phonophobia was here. So headache or state is objectively we see high calorie diet, neurologic state has no peculiarity. So if one-sided is there, along with that vision reduction will be there. Vision reduction can be seen in this condition, that is the normal things. Don't confuse with these things with the lacrimation or the rhinorrhea, such type of the things. So, and along with that, see the nausea or the stomach discomfort. So all these are associated with the migraine. Okay, about then chronic subdural hematoma or all the hemorrhage we already discussed in the class. Other epilepsy also we discussed. Hypertensive encephalopathy, benign, they are not in your syllabus. Then after that we will be having a 7-year-old boy suddenly felt in. Now you see this question, most we have done these questions, but here we have seen there is a 8th C factor is 5% norm, and here one thing is you need to remember, they have given the value. So here you see the prothrombin time 12 seconds. The normal prothrombin time is 10 to 15 seconds. Means this is the normal. You have seen partially activated thromboplastin time 72 seconds. Activated normally is 35 to 45. Hemorrhage time is normal, and the 8th factor deficiency is there. What is the most probable diagnosis? Now see, if you have seen there is an increase in which condition? The increase in the activated partial thromboplastin times. Okay, PATT, increase in the PATT, partial activated thromboplastin times. This one is the normal things. Here we can see the thrombocytes, that again will be the normal. So what have you seen? that PTT is increasing. So if the PATT is more, so or the PTT is more, so that means they're talking about which condition? The hemophilia. So in the hemophilia, let's discuss because all the vitamin K deficiency, thrombocytopenia. So this thing, see, we having the three condition here. The platelets is there, and after that we will be having prothrombin time. PT means prothrombin times, and we have the activated partial thromboplastin times. So P platelet, prothrombin time, activated partial thromboplastin times. Now if we talk about the platelet, if I say the decrease, there is a decrease in the platelets, but what we have seen, the prothrombin time will be normals, and APTT also is normal. So what we call these conditions? Can you tell me which condition we call this condition? Which condition is this? If platelets are decreasing, so what we call this condition? The second one, if we see the platelets are normal, what we have seen, the platelets are normal. After that we have seen the prothrombin time is also normal, but APTT is increasing. The APTT is increasing. Okay, this is not the decrease or increase sign, this is the arrow. So okay, so what we have seen, that if normal, so what will the second conditions? After that, the third one, if we see that, like if this will be the normal, but PT is increasing, the PT is increasing, and this will be the normal, like opposite of this. So what we call these conditions? Then tell me, if there is a platelet is decreasing, but all these are increasing, so what we call these conditions? And there is one more conditions. If the platelets are normals, but we have seen the prothrombin time both are increasing, so what we call this condition? There are the 5 conditions that I told you. Thrombocytopenia, the first one is the thrombocytopenia. Oh yeah, in the dengue we see the thrombocytopenia, but that is the idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Okay, in that condition also we see. So this one is what? That is the thrombocytopenia. And the second one we have seen the normal, there is a APTT is increasing. So what we having, this one is the hemophilia. And the third ones we have seen, there is a PT is increasing. If PT is increasing, we call this is the factor, which one? 5, 6, 7 deficiency. I will come why 5 to 7. There is a decrease in the platelets, increase in the which condition? PT, or increase in the APTT. So what we call this condition? This is seen in case of the DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulation. If platelets are normal but both are decreasing, we will see in this condition vitamin K deficiency. Can you tell me which is the vitamin K dependent factor? Vitamin K dependent clotting factor. The vitamin K dependent clotting factor. So what we call, that is the 2, 7, 9, 10. So these are the factor 2, 7, 9, 10. They are the which factors? Vitamin K dependent factors. Now see, I hope every one of you know about this. The second things, that if normally what we have seen, there is a 2 pathway. One we call the intrinsic pathway, and another we call that is the extrinsic pathway. Intrinsic pathway or the extrinsic pathway. Now which clotting factors are involved in the intrinsic pathway? 7. Which one? Can you write? So what we have seen, okay, I am telling you that if we have the 12th clotting factors, it will activate it and it will form the 12th A, that is the activated 12th A factors. After that, what we will be seeing, that 11th clotting factor, what they will form? They will be activated with this 12th A and it will be converted to the 11th activated factor. These are the inactivated, these are the activated. After that, what we have seen, this 11A factors, what it will do? It will be having 9th clotting factor. 9 clotting factors, and with this 9 clotting factors, what we will see, this ninth will be converting into the activated 9th A clotting factors. After that we see there will be, it will activate the, which one? It will activate the 10. When 10, convert it into the 10th activated factors. So what we have seen, the 12, then 11, then 9. 12, 11, 9, and see after the ones at 10A, because 10A is common factor, 10 is for both for intrinsic and both for extrinsic also. Then after the 10A, what we have seen, the second intrinsic factors will be converted into the activated second factors, and after that the first factors will be there. After that the first factors will be there, and because see the 12 2A factors, what it will do, it will convert the 13th factor into the activated 13th factor, and these 13 factors, then what it will do, it will convert the 1A in then into the, it will form the help in the clotting formations. Then extrinsic pathway, remember, so we will be having that the 12, 11, 9 and 8. So 12, 11, 9 or 8. So these are the intrinsics. These one is the intrinsic, because this will continue 10, then 9, 8. So 12, 11, 9, 8, these are the intrinsic factor. After that, if we talk about the extrinsic factors, so extrinsic factor, which one will be there? That is the 7. 7 is the intrinsic factors. The remaining one, that is the common. If you talk about the common factors, the common factors will be, that is 10th factor. The 10th factors, that will be the common factors between them. So once this 10th A factors will be activated, so it will be convert the, that is the second factors, that is the prothrombin into the thrombin. It will convert the prothrombin into the thrombin, and the thrombins, then further it will convert into the fibrinogen. Further will convert into the fibrinogens, and the fibrinogens, what it will make? It will make the clots. So remember that if we talk about the intrinsic pathway, for calculation of the intrinsic pathway, to measure the intrinsic pathway, we have used the prothrombin time. क्या यूज करते हैं? Prothrombin time. For extrinsic pathway, what we have used? Extrinsic pathway, we should have used what is the APTT, the activated partial thromboplastin time. So that will be used. Now see here that so what we have seen, that this one, like we have the factor 7 deficiency normal. So factor 7, what we have seen, that PT level will be increasing and APTT level will be increasing, and the factor 7, it belongs to the which factor, which tissue factors? That is the extrinsic tissue factors. So that's why we see that the APTT level will be lower, the platelets will be lower, normals, but it will not be affected on the intrinsic pathway, so PT level will be increased. Okay. So that you need to remember. And this question is direct question. So if we have seen that there is a partial activated thromboplastin time is increasing, so which hemophilia will be there? That is the hemophilia A. And hemophilia A, we know that which factors deficiency will be there? 8th factor deficiency. So there is hemophilia A, hemophilia B, hemophilia C. So what we have? 5, 6, 7, 8 deficiency. Then we have the 9 deficiency, and we will be having the 11th factor deficiency. Okay, so here we have seen the 8th factor, so 8th factor we will be having the hemophilia A. Is that clear? समझ आ गया? चलो. After that we will be having the next questions. The next question is on the 3rd day after the acute anterior myocardial infarctions. Now you have seen there is a duration is given. Now 3rd day's duration, acute anterior myocardial. This patient was having the MI. Now after that, what we have seen, there is a dull, patient's complaint of the dull ache behind his breastbone, retrosternal pain is there, that can be reduced by bending forwards, and the patient having the dyspnea. The heart sounds are dull. Atrial fibrillation with frequency of the ventricular contraction at the rate of 1/10. Pathological Q waves. What you have seen, the pathological Q wave and ST segment raising in the right chest lid. The patient refused from the thrombolysis. So what we have seen, the ST segment elevation. The ST segment elevation also seen in case of the acute pericarditis. ST segment elevation is also seen in case of the acute pericarditis, then also seen in myocardial infarctions, but there is a very little difference that we will discuss in the ECG also. In ECG, if we talk about the acute pericarditis, and another one we talk about the which condition, that is the myocardial infarctions. So in acute pericarditis, if you see that this one is the ECG, this one is the ECG. So in the ECG we see there is a ST segment elevations will be there, and so this in acute pericarditis, this ST segment will be the concave shape, this will be the concave. But in MI what we have seen, that this ECG, will be that this what we call, this is a convex shape. The ST segments will be the convex shape. So that you need to remember. In acute pericarditis we see the concave ST elevations, while in the MI we see there is a convex ST elevations will be seen. What is the most probable diagnosis? The acute pericarditis we discussed that there is a, if we will bend forward, there will be the relief will be there. But here they didn't mention such, they just mentioned that bending forward third day, and they see the ST segment elevations. Then other options, pulmonary embolisms, okay, pulmonary embolism will not be the answer. Dissecting aortic aneurysms, ये भी नहीं हो सकता. Dressler syndromes and the TID syndromes, ये हमारे syllabus में ही नहीं, but no need to worry about this. Dressler syndromes और the acute pericarditis. सी ST segment elevation तो acute pericarditis वहां से कुछ, बट हमें नहीं पता था कि acute pericarditis के अंदर ST segment भी elevation होता है. We don't know about that कि ST segment elevation occurs in the acute pericarditis. Then how we will solve? See, if the patient has given the durations, so what we have seen in these patients, that if there is a MI patient is there, because, and we know that MI complication, because you remember, I think in the CROC 1, there in the in neutron there was a question number 4 or 5 in the histology, or I think in the biology. So there were the questions where we discussed about the Dressler syndromes. Okay, if anyone saw the revision video, so there was the MI was there, and after the MI what we have seen, that after how many days? After 3 days. What we have seen there, if symptoms will be there, after 3 days what we get the symptoms, so it means that this patient will be having the acute pericarditis. These patients will be having the acute pericarditis will be there. Acute pericarditis will be there. But if the after the MI, if we see after around 3 weeks, after the 3 weeks, if the patient has got the symptoms or the recurrent symptoms has seen in these patients, then in that conditions what we have seen, that these patients will be having the which condition, that is the Dressler syndromes. And the Dressler syndromes, what we which drugs we will give, that is the aspirin will be given. Dressler syndrome. Okay, if after the 3 days the patient has got the symptoms like the chest pain or the dyspnea type of the things, that we call this condition as the acute pericarditis. But if after the 3 weeks, and it should be around the months, then he got the symptoms like the chest pain, so these patients will be called the patient of the Dressler syndromes. So Dressler syndromes and acute pericarditis, they are complications of the MI, and they can be differentiated based on the durations. Now in this question we have seen that this patient is having the 3 days. This patient having the 3rd day. So on the 3rd day what you have seen, that patient having the MI is condition, and after that the things has been complicated and he having chest pain and the dyspnea. So which conditions will be seen in this patients? That is acute pericarditis. Pulmonary embolisms I think हमने कर लिया था पहले. Pulmonary embolisms, dissectings, aneurysms, aortic aneurysms हमने किया था शायद. किया था ना? नहीं किया था तो just let's get a brief description of this. पल्मोनरी एम्बोलिज्म्स की अगर बात करें तो पल्मोनरी एम्बोलिज्म्स में क्या होता है कि अगर विच इज द मोस्ट कॉमन कोज ऑफ पल्मोनरी एम्बोलिज्म्स, दैट इज द डीवीटी. तो अगर डीवीटी से रिलेटेड वो क्वेश्चंस में कुछ ना कुछ देगा इन द अबाउट डीवीटी, ही विल provide some history about some DVT things in the questions. And what you will see, there is a sudden onset of the, there is a sudden onset, this patient will be having the sudden onset of dyspnea, and these patients will be having the chest pain. This patient will be having the chest pain. Along with that, you can see in this patient it can also be land up with hemoptysis will be there. So that you need to remember about the pulmonary embolisms. And the treatment, of course, we have the question yesterday. What the treatment we will give? You do the embolectomy. But you will do the embolectomy. Along with that, we can give the vitamin K also. And okay, so this was the question yesterday. After that, we have the dissecting aortic aneurysms. Dissecting aortic aneurysms we already done. After that, question number 4. The question number 4, that patient complained of sudden intense headache in the occipital regions and vomiting. In the medical history, moderate arterial hypertension, patient was taking hydrochlorothiazides. So patient has admitted complaint of the sudden intense headache in the occipital regions, and in the medical history, moderate arterial hypertension, patient was taking 3 days I considered therapy about intense headache that was suppressed by analgesic. Objectively, what you have seen, conscious is confused, left pupil is midriatic, evident photophobia and the tension of the neck muscles, left side hemiparesis with increased muscle tones and reflex, the body temperature is low, RAS is absent, AP is there, what is your preliminary diagnosis? So this type of the questions, what we have seen, this type of the questions is there. So this patient will be having suppressed by the analgesic. This patient has been suppressed by the analgesic systems, means analgesic is not working in this patient, and having the history of the steroids. This patient will be having the history of steroids will be there. Okay, so this question was about the acute hematoma. So what we have seen, there is a two conditions. The about the hemorrhage we discussed. So here we will be having acute subdural hematoma. There is a acute subdural hematoma is given, and along with that we will see there is a two conditions that is associated with the headache. So epidural hematoma. Epidural hematoma. What we have seen that hematoma, the subdural hematoma, what we discussed, what is the cause of these conditions? The cause is what? That is the tearing of the some veins or the rupture of the veins. Which vein? That was the bridging vein. So if the bridging vein has been ruptured, so the rupture of the bridging vein will lead to the subdural hematoma. The rupture of the bridging vein will lead to the subdural hematoma. What we will see in the clinical features, we see the patients will be the headache, these patients will be having the seizures, the vomiting, paralysis, all these type of the symptoms will be seen. Other than that, what we discussed, it will be looks like the crescent moon shaped or biconcave will be there. These patients will be having headache, having the history of this patient will be having the intense headache will be there. The intense headache will be there and associated with the vomiting also. Okay, the intense headache will be there and the patients can having the paralysis. Now this photophobia, this can be present or then can be absent in these conditions, but why the rupture of bridging vein will be there? The bridging vein ruptures will be due to hypertension. Due to hypertensions will be there. If the patients will be hypertensions, then there is a chances of the rupturing of these veins and that can lead to the subdural hematoma. That's why we say na ki agar if somebody got the more hypertensions around 200, so there is a chances कि नस फट जाएगी, है ना, कि नस फटने के चांसेस क्या हो जाता है, जैसे ब्लड प्रेशर ज़्यादा होता है तो नस फटने के चांसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं. तो नस फटने के चांसेस इसीलिए बोलते हैं क्योंकि that is the related to the subdural hematoma, because once the blood pressures will increase, there is a more chances of the rupturing of the bridging veins and that will lead to acute subdural hematoma. What is the epidural hematoma? What is the cause we discussed? The cause here we will be having the skull fractures will be there. The skull fracture will be there and patient will be giving the history of the fall or accident will be there. In these conditions, remember, we will be having which type of the shape of the hemorrhage or the hematoma, that is the biconvex or lentiform shape will be seen. Biconvex or the lentiform shape will be there. Okay, so this is what we already discussed. All the hemorrhage I think we already covered in the previous classes, so that you not to worry. But here you can see the one important word, that this doesn't suppressed by the analgesics and the patient have taken the hydrochlorothiazide acid, and after that we have seen blood pressures has been increasing. Photophobia, the tension of the neck muscles, that can be seen because of the more blood pressures, and this can be seen. Photophobia can be there or cannot be present, not a specific feature. So what is the period of diagnosis? Because of the increase in the blood pressure, there is a more chances of the rupturing of the membranes. That's why we have to go for the acute subdural hematoma. Myasthenia gravis, migraine, acute bacterial meningitis. Myasthenia gravis में क्या होता है? That is the type 5 hypersensitivity. Acute bacterial meningitis, all type of the meningitis we discuss. Migraine हमने अभी करा. Disseminated sclerosis मतलब just hardening of something. That is the disseminated mean destroyed. So that is the disseminated sclerosis. Sclerosis, no questions are there, so not focusing on that. After that, a 51-year-old woman was taken to the emergency department in the status epilepticus. Status epilepticus is there. Then what the medical management you will do? The first things I told you, if the epilepsy conditions or if epilepsy or some seizures type of the conditions is there. So the first things I told you, what you need to do? What you need to do? Ensure that the airway is open and patient is oxygenating. Okay, because at that one we see like the trismus will be there. The jaw claudication, the jaw will completely not able to open. So that the conditions will be there. I told you, I think before also, that one of my relatives, he got this type of the seizures, and I was there and I show and I put my fingers in the mouth of that, so that the first things I see that the patient has got the seizures. Okay, and after that, and it was the like the wedding functions, and during the wedding functions he got the seizures. Okay, and after that I put the fingers in the to open his mouth, because, and after that I was thinking that it is my hand is also bitten. So that's why I'm saying that first things that you need to do, ensure the airway is open or not, and the patient should be the oxygenating, because there is a more chances of the blockage. And if it is a more severe conditions, these patients can have there is a like the tongues can be the swallowed up. So if the tongue will be swallowed up, there is complete blockage of the airway will be possible. So that's why the first things that you need to do for the epilepsy or the seizure patients, the airway should be the open, and patient make sure the patient is oxygenating. After that, the next questions there will be a 38-year-old man complained having occasional problem with the swallowing of the both hard and the fluids. So this I hope you already got the answers. Hard and fluid for many months. So what will be the answer? He has not put off the waist, asphyxia onset at the night, feel intense behind the breastbones, especially after the hot drinks. So can you tell me condition without seeing the option? Which condition is that? Show the notes please. कौन से notes? 1052. 1052. So tell me which condition is that? Is it eclampsia cardia or the esophageal cancer? Is that eclampsia cardia or the esophageal cancer? Which condition? So that is esophageal eclampsia. So that is the eclampsia cardia. So everything we already discussed this. So what the next question we will be having? GERD also we discussed yesterday. Cancer of esophagus, myasthenia, esophageal candidiasis. That is just about the candidiasis we discussed. If it is associated with the esophagus condition, so it will be esophageal candidiasis. Did we discuss the irritable bowel syndrome? अभी तुम्हें बताना है कि हमने क्या किया है क्या नहीं किया है, because most of the questions will be repeated. So what you have seen, occasional pains in the paraumbilicals or the iliac regions is there, that reduce after the defecations. So what you have seen, there is a pain in the paraumbilical regions or iliac regions, reduce after defecation or the passage of the gases. Defecations take place 6 times a day, stool is not solid and some mucus in it. Appetite is normal, she has not put off weight. First such symptoms appeared 1.5 years ago, but colonoscopy, see the first things, if you see there is a no colonoscopy, there is a colonoscopy, there is a detect no organic change. So objectively abdomen soft, little bit painful in the left iliac regions, blood and urine are normal. So what with this prayer, if you see the colonoscopy is not changing and still the patient having some pain in the paraumbilical region, iliac regions, and they have associated with the defecations or the stool process, so it means that is talking about the irritable bowel syndromes. Crohn's disease we already discussed. So that is what we have, irritable bowel syndromes. Now if we talk about the irritable bowel syndrome, firstly things you need to remember that if irritable bowel syndrome will be there, so irritable bowel syndrome, it is associated with the stress conditions. If the patient is having any type of the stress is there, that means most probably he will land up with the irritable bowel syndromes. And it is a problem with the functional bowel disorders. It is the problem with the functional bowel disorder that is associated with the stress. That is associated with stress. And who take the stress more, male or female, boys or girls? Stress कौन ज़्यादा लेता है, boys or the girls? गर्ल. सिद्धार्थ को बहुत मतलब he took the PhD करके बैठा है वो, both. I say that who takes the more, ठीक है, who take the more stress. देखो भाई लड़कों ने, लड़के सिंपल सी बात बताता हूँ, लड़के didn't take the stress. अगर वो स्ट्रेस लेते हैं, ठीक है, ठीक है, स्ट्रेस लेते हैं बट स्ट्रेस लेके थोड़ी देर बाद भूल जाते हैं। लड़कियां क्या करते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा ओवर थिंकिंग करना और सब चीजें करना, है ना, दैट इज द थिंग्स। और बहुत सारी चीजें होते हैं क्योंकि वो पता नहीं कौन सा इमोशनल फैक्टर्स, एवरी फैक्टर्स दे हैव इन्वॉल्वड, एंड दैट द थिंग्स द गर्ल्स हैव द मोस्ट स्ट्रेस पावर्स, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम इज कॉमन इन द फीमेल्स। ठीक है, the irritable, that's why the irritable bowel syndrome is common in the females more than the males. And it is natural, ठीक है, if you see that, लड़कों का क्या है, लड़के तो 2 मिनट के अंदर क्या होता है, स्ट्रेस उनका गायब, उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, लाइक 2 मिनट में उन्होंने स्ट्रेस लिया है, छोड़ जो होगा देखा जाएगा। बट लड़कियों का क्या है कि दे आर द लाइक, इफ अगर ओवर थिंकिंग स्टार्टिंग दैट ओवर थिंकिंग, दैट विल बी लैंड अप विद समथिंग, सो दैट इज द थिंग्स that's why the irritable bowel syndrome is common in the females. Okay, you will see there is these patients will be having the recurrent abdominal pains. These patients will be having the recurrent abdominal pain will be theirs. The recurrent abdominal pain will be theirs, and there the patients will be having the discomfort. The patients will be having the discomfort. This is the most important like point or the trick that you need to remember the keywords. For diagnosis of these things, we have the criteria, that is the Rome 4 criteria. That is the Rome 4 criteria is used for the diagnosis of the irritable bowel syndromes. In that conditions, what we are seeing, if the Rome 4 criteria, what it says, that it include the recurrent abdominal pain is there, that is, or we can say the lower, the crampy pain in the lower basically in the lower gastrointestinal tracts, and this will occur at least 1 day per week. It will occur at 1 day per week and continue till around 3 to 4 months. It is can be the Rome 4 criteria says that there will be the recurrent abdominal pain will be there. The recurrent abdominal pain will be there at least 1 day per week. At least 1 day per week, and in last 3 months. In last 3 months. And remember that he told that Rome 4 criteria, he said that it is associated with the, it is associated with the with 2 or more than 2 of followings. 2 or more than 2 of the followings. Whether it can be the, it can be associated or related to the defecations, it can be the related to defecations, like the minimum 2 should be there, related to the defecations can be there, associated with a change in the stool frequency, change in stool frequency, change in stool frequency. Other than that, the third one we will be having, it can be associated with the appearance of the stools, the change in the stool appearance, change in the stool appearance, but minimum 2 following, like 2 conditions should be associated with that. If the recurrent abdominal pain, along with that we have seen there with the defecations will be there, and the change in the stool frequency, either frequency or the appearance, or can be there, like more than 2 or equal to the 2 should be there to fulfill this criteria. Okay, and this abdominal pain, it will be the mostly episodic pain, and the cramping pain will be there, and this pain will be, remember this pain when we will eat, so when we are whenever we will eat these things, eat any things, or so that will be exacerbated. So this, or in simple words you can write increase, like that याद रहेगा, ताकि that will be increased with, it will be increased with which conditions, by eating or stress. If any stressful conditions, this recurrent abdominal pain will be increased. And remember that it is improved with defecations. This is improved with defecations. ठीक है, once the defecation has been done, the patient, oh शांति मिल गई, so that things will be done here. ठीक है, इस तरीके से याद रखो उसको कि once the patient has defecate and he say oh relax, so that is the things, the recurrent abdominal pain will be there. अरे यार ये क्या है, हाँ भाई अरे एक मिनट, आई थिंक आई पुट द चार्जर ऑफ स्मॉल वाईफाई. जस्ट ए सेकेंड, इतने पानी वानी पी लो थोड़ा. Okay, is that clear? So what I was telling कि so what you have seen that there is a recurrent abdominal pain at least 1 day per week in the last 3 months. The Rome 4 criteria. So for the diagnosis of which condition? The diagnosis of irritable bowel syndrome, we will be having the Rome 4 criteria. And Rome 4 criteria says there is a recurrent abdominal pain at least 1 day per week in last 3 months. And if this recurrent abdominal pain, it will be associated with more than two of the followings. Maybe it will related to the defecations, it can be the related to the change in the stool frequency or the stool appearance. देखो normally there are the two conditions, but it can be associated with the more than two conditions. It can be the defecation, stool frequency or the stool appearance. Then remember that it is increased by eating or stress. The increase by the eating or the stress, and this patient will have improved with the defecations. तो क्या होगा कि when the patient has the defecations, oh finally I have done, so he will take the relax. तो relaxations one होगा once the patient has defecate, तो after the defecations जो उसको relief मिलेगा, that is the things he will done with. So that is what the recurrent abdominal pain. That is recurrent abdominal pain, and that is improved with the defecation. So that is the thing you need to remember also. Okay, and it will be changed, like if the frequency will be changed, and if frequency or the appearance can be the change, so it means that is the something talking about the irritable bowel syndromes. Along with that, what other clinical features you will see in this patient? Definitely it is the irritable bowel syndrome, so there will be the altered bowel movement will be there, like altered bowel movements or altered bowel habits will be there, and this will be the most consistent the features that will be seen, that the altered bowel habits will be there. Other than that, there will be the dyspepsia also can seen. Dyspepsia can be seen, heartburn can be seen, and these patients will be having ending with the nausea and vomitings, and the patients can having the abdominal distensions or blanchings can be there. The abdominal distension or blanching. So all these things can be possible. Okay, so let's see the question now. And colonoscopy, we don't see any organic changes. The paraumbilical region reduced after the defecation. So what you have seen, this patient has relieved after the defecation or passage of the gases. Defecations take place up to 6 times a day. Stool is not solid. You have seen there is a defecation 6 times a day. The stool is not solid with some mucus in it, means there is some appearance or some frequency has been changed. Appetite is normal. She has not put off the weight. Okay, weight loss there can be there. First such symptoms appeared 1.5 year. Colonoscopy no. Abdomen is soft, little bit painful in the left iliac regions. Why little bit painful? Because I told you abdominal distensions can be seen. The abdominal distension can be seen in these conditions. So what we have seen, that all the features are characterized to the irritable bowel syndrome. There is a two condition associated with that, defecation and the stool, whether it's frequency or the appearance. The paraumbilical, the pain in paraumbilical or abdominal region associated with the defecation or the stool appearance or the stool frequency. So it means that is talking about it fulfilling the Rome 4 criteria. That's why the answer is the इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम्स। इज दैट क्लियर? किसी को समझ नहीं आया तो दोबारा बोल दो, क्योंकि मे बी आई वाज डिस्कनेक्टेड और एनीथिंग। ओके, एवरीथिंग ओके फॉर एवरीवन? ओके, यस, ओके ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। तो ये अच्छे से समझ में आ गया। देखो बहुत मतलब शानदार टॉपिक है ना, कि देखो एक इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम है, थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बताता हूँ इसको। इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम है, फंक्शनल बाउल डिसऑर्डर हो रहा है। ऐसा किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? स्ट्रेस की वजह। याद भी नहीं करना है इसको, याद भी कैसे करना है? स्ट्रेस हो रहा है। स्ट्रेस किसको होता है? लड़कियों को होता है। फीमेल में ज्यादा होता है। तो फीमेल में क्या होगा? एब्डोमिनल पेन होगा, बट एसोसिएटेड है दो कंडीशंस के अंदर, डेफिकेशन और associated with the defecation or stool appearance or the stool frequency। जैसे ही डेफिकेशन होगा तो एकदम से रिलीफ मिलेगा, या फिर गैस निकलेगी तो भी रिलीफ मिलेगा। ठीक है, जैसे ज्यादा खाना खाएंगे, ज्यादा स्ट्रेस लेंगे तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? बढ़ जाएगा। अदर देन दैट क्या होगा कि एब्डोमिनल डिस्टेंशन होगा, तो उसकी वजह से कुछ पेनफुल कंडीशन आ सकती है, लिटिल बिट पेनफुल हो सकता है, डिस्पेप्सिया हो सकता है, हार्ट बर्न हो सकता है। सो ऑल दीज आर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द इरिटेबल बाउल सिंड्रोम। After that, let's go for the next question. A physician must undertake measure for the primary prophylaxis of iron deficiency anemia. अब यार देखो, iron deficiency anemia is there. Which of the following are subject to such primary prophylactic measure? तो किसको? I told you कि in अगर female, if the female is there, then after the marriage he should start with the iron or the folic acid tablet to prevent the neural tube defect in the baby. ये भी कोई क्वेश्चन है। आफ्टर दैट ए पेशेंट अनस्टेबल एंजाइना पेक्टोरिस वाज गिवन फॉर द फॉलोइंग ट्रीटमेंट। एंटीकोगुलेंट दिया गया, नाइट्रेट दिया गया, अल्फा एडिनो ब्लॉकर। हाउएवर ऑन द थर्ड डे ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट द पेन स्टिल रिमेन्स सेम। व्हिच इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुड बी कैरिड आउट टू स्टेबलाइज द डायग्नोसिस? अभी देखो, एक तो फर्स्टली ऑल द ईसीजी थिंग्स वी विल डू आई थिंक इन टुमारो और डे आफ्टर टुमारो क्लास। ठीक है, बिकॉज आई नीड टू ऐड सम पॉइंट्स in the recent one, the whatever I prepared for the last year. Okay, so for in that I will make some new changes also, and after that we will do the angina or all these topics we will be do then. So what we have seen, what investigations should be carried out to stabilize the diagnosis? So what we have seen, what we have to do, we have to do the coronography. What is the coronography? या फिर चलो इसको पूरा ही छोड़ दो, इसमें ना काफी चीजें आएंगी फिर। ओके, ऑल दिस थिंग्स अबाउट द कार्डियोलॉजी पार्ट वी विल डिस्कस ऑल टुगेदर। ठीक है, ऑल द कार्डियोलॉजी क्वेश्चंस। आफ्टर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द 28-year woman applied to the doctor because of the limited loss of the hair. In the anamnesis, she had frequent headache, indisposition, erythromalgia, fever, irregular casual sexual life. So what we have seen, if irregular casual sexual life, the drug user is there, Wasserman reaction is negative. The Wasserman reaction is negative, or the Wasserman test is negative. What examinations must be done first? So what we have seen in this condition, what we have to do, we have to do the examination. If you see most of the questions, if you see there is a patient having the like the sexual contact or such type of the things, this is associated with the HIV conditions. Okay, so if you have the casual sexual, so remember that the HIV. Other or not usually associated with trichomoniasis, you already know that we will be having the strawberry cervix or all these things will be there. After that, question number 11, there is admitted thoracic surgery department with the fever up to 40 degrees Celsius, onset of the pain in the side caused by the deep breathing, cough with the considerable quantity of the purulent sputum and blood with the bad smell. ये शायद ये कल या परसों भी आया था क्वेश्चन. Bad smell if is there तो means that the abscess of the lungs is there. ठीक है, repeated question है, do it. Question number 13. A male 30-year-old noted growing fingers and the facial skull, change face, complaints of the poor eyesight, and we have seen that patient will be having weakness, skin darkening, loss of the body weight. There is a loss of the body weight. X-ray shows the broadening of the sala tracheca. There is a broadening of the sala tracheca. Sala tracheca में कौन सा gland होता है? Endocrine gland. which gland in this present is the sella trassica? अगर देखो simple question, बहुत मतलब direct question है, nothing need to worry about the question, direct question is there. So if you have seen that sella trassica, in the sella trassica we know we have the pituitary glands. Okay, in the sella trassica we have the pituitary gland located, and the pituitary gland बस इतना पता होना चाहिए कि pituitary, in sella trassica we having the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland we will be having another name, that is the hypophysis. Pineal gland is known as the epiphysis. The pineal gland is known as the epiphysis, and the pituitary gland is known as the hypophysis. ठीक है, sign of increase intracranial pressures, definitely if there is a more increase in the broadening of the sella trassica, the intracranial pressures will be increased. So what the diagnosis will be there? The edema of the hypophysis. Pituitary gland के दो ही ट्यूमर होते हैं. There are only two tumors. One we have the pituitary tumor, another tumor that is associated, that is the craniopharyngioma. But in that craniopharyngioma they did not ask you. So just remember that the pituitary gland tumor. Okay. The sella trassica, because they mentioned the sella trassica, in sella trassica we know that is the pituitary gland, and why the sella trassica is broadening? Because of the tumor growth of the pituitary gland. If patients complaints of tormentals, cough with expectoration of up to 600 ml daily, purulent chocolate color sputum with a decay smell. तो यहाँ पे क्या है, there is a chocolate color sputum is there and decay smell is there. Onset of the illness was observed toward -39 degrees Celsius. Fever of irregular type. There is an area of darkening with the cavity in a center on X-ray film with irregular contours and the level of the liquid. What disease is this question? What disease is the question? So what you have seen, the patients with have the sputum with the I think yesterday one we have questions, we have the on options we have the lung gangrenes or the lung necrosis. So you have seen there is a purulent chocolate color. The purulent means bacterial involvement, and the sputum with the decay smell is there. The decay smell is there. Along with that, we have seen the area of the darkening with the cavity in the center. So area of the darkening means we have the black things, or the black, we have been called this condition as the necrotic part, or the necrotic or the blackening of the things. So the blackening or the necrotic parts we will be having, that is the gangrene of the lungs. ठीक है, डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि इतना इसलिए जोर नहीं दे रहे क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वी हैव ऑलरेडी कवर्ड दिस थिंग्स. सो इट विल बी द डार्क ग्रे कलर, it will be the dark grey colors, and foul smelling will be there. Foul smellings. Purulent black discharge will be there. Okay. हमने प्रोलैक्टिनोमा और सेला ट्रेसिका तो कर लिया था ना शायद. ठीक है, और आई थिंक पिट्यूटरी ट्यूमर भी हमने किया था. डिड वी डू सम पिट्यूटरी ट्यूमर? ठीक है, उसके अंदर पिट्यूटरी ट्यूमर जहाँ पे हमने किया था तो वहां पे एक चीज आई थिंक, आई डोंट नो इफ आई टोल्ड यू नॉट, देयर इज समथिंग लाइक इफ यू हैविंग pituitary tumor is there, pituitary tumor. In pituitary tumor there is two things we will see. The pituitary tumor, there will be, there can be the microadenoma. It can be the microadenoma means small size is there, or it can be the macroadenoma. It can be the macroadenoma. So in the microadenoma, what we have seen, these patients will be, because pituitary tumors, it can be associated with the prolactinoma also. So that's why if the microadenoma will be there, then these patients will be having the dysmenorrhea, prolactinoma, and increase in the galactorrhea, because prolactinoma we know that there is a galactorrhea will be there. So that's why we will see this galactorrhea will be there. If macroadenoma condition is there, in macroadenoma conditions, remember there will be the decrease in the lipido. There is increase in the lipido will be there. The patients will be having the vision loss, and there will be the this macroadenoma will obstruct the optic chiasm. This will obstruct the optic chiasm, and we discussed that if the if the eyes are there, in eyes what we having the this side we have the nasal fibers, and this side we will be having the temporal fibers. Then we discuss the temporal fiber, they do not cross, but the nasal fiber, they cross to the opposite side. The nasal fiber, they cross to the opposite side, and when they cross, they form the condition, they form a structure that is known as the optic chiasm. So if the macroadenoma is there, they will obstruct the optic chiasm, and if optic chiasm will be here, obstruction of the optic chiasm will be there. So what you will see, that nasal fibers has been damaged. If nasal fibers has been damaged, means temporal visual field will be lost. Temporal visual field will be lost. If the temporal visual field, because from the temporal visual field, what we have seen, that this temporal visual field should be passed on the nasal fibers, and from these things we have the nasal fibers will be there, and nasal fibers will be there. So that's what we have seen, the which on the both side the temporal visual field will be lost, and we call this condition as the bitemporal hemianopia. Bitemporal hemianopia. Okay, so if obstruct the optic chiasm, what we have seen, the bitemporal hemianopia, and which condition is associated with it, macroadenoma. ये समझ में आया सबको about the, अगर नहीं आया तो no लिखो, I will tell because I told you in the class. Did you understand this thing about the how it will be the bitemporal hemianopia? Everyone, शर्माओ मत, अगर नहीं आया तो बता दो. सबको आ गया, पूछता हूं तो फिर बताते नहीं हो तुम. ठीक है, चलो पूछ लेता हूं फिर आ गया तो. ओके, टेल मी, देखो, इफ आई से द टेम्पोरल फाइबर्स, राइट मी इन द चैट बॉक्स, if the temporal fibers has been, अगर temporal जो fibers हैं, if the temporal fibers has been damaged, if temporal fibers has been damaged, so which vision loss will be there? Which vision loss will be there? If the temporal lights, right, or we can say the right temporal fiber has been damaged, so which visual loss will be there? Right, which visual loss will be there? अगर right temporal fiber has been damaged, then which visual loss? Nasal side right, nasal side right, peripheral, nasal side gons, peripheral. ठीक है, पेरिफेरल किसको बोल रहे हो तुम? लेफ्ट, क्या लेफ्ट, क्या लेफ्ट, लेफ्ट क्या? पहली बात तो टेम्पोरल क्रॉस नहीं कर रहे तो लेफ्ट तो होगा ही नहीं किसी भी हालत में, तो राइट का राइट में रहेगा. देखो यहाँ पे अगर था, इफ यू हैव दे, इफ आई से दैट दे ऑप्टिक नर्व्स, तो यहाँ पे क्या होती है हमारे पास ऑप्टिक नर्व्स. अगर मैं बोलूँ जस्ट टेम्पोरल फाइबर्स लॉस हुई है, वैसे ऑप्टिक नर्व के अंदर दोनों अफेक्टेड होते हैं, बट मैं एक प्रकार से तुम्हें समझाने के लिए, तो दैट इज, अगर इफ टेम्पोरल नर्व्स इज डैमेज, टेम्पोरल फाइबर्स आर डैमेज, देन विच साइड विल बी लॉस्ट? दिस साइड विल, बिकॉज व्हाट फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर गेटिंग, फ्रॉम द नेजल साइड. तो नेजल, पेरिफेरल क्यों बोल रहे हैं वो मुझे समझ नहीं आया. ठीक है, तो नेजल visual loss will be there, and if both sided will be, temporal fibers will be damaged, so we call this is the binasal hemianopia. Binasal hemianopia will be there, but ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. ठीक है, just for understanding I told you, it can be the, if optic nerves will be damaged, so that I can tell you, if optic nerves will be damaged, in optic nerves the one sided, so what we will see, there is a both sided, the both temporal or the nasal fibers of the same side will be affected. Okay, then after that, question number 15. So question number 15, if complained of the nausea, vomiting, headache and the shortness of the breath, he had acute nephritis being 10-year-old, proteinuria was found. The proteinuria was found in the urine. So what you have seen, the proteinuria, it can be the nephrotic or the nephritic. Skin is grey, edema is not present. The edema is not present is there. So I hope you will get the answer. BP 140 by 80, 180 by 100. Blood levels, creatinine is given, diuresis, nocturia, the density of the urine is given. The density of the urine, all these things you will get in the options. Like in the end of your Croc 2, all values you will get. In the Croc 2 booklet, in the end of the Croc 2 booklet, all the values you will get about the creatinine, diuresis, normals, protein, BP, all these things you will get. Okay, so if you see that there is a diuresis there, nocturia, specific density, albumin will be there, WBC, single in the hyaline cast single. So what is the answer? That is the nephritic with the violation of the kidney function. Why the nephrotic? Why not nephrotic? The edema. We will see there is edema will be also seen in the necrotics, and here in this condition we will be having the protein is high, the proteinuria, and there will be the increase in the urea amount. The increase in the urea amount, and we see the residual nitrogens will also be increased. So we called this condition as the azotemia. We call this condition as the azotemia. So this means that if the nitrogens or all this involving, so it means there is a violation of the kidney functions, and that's why we will be having the nephritic condition here. Okay, nephrotic, there will be the all things will be, oh my god. After that, the next question will be there. A patient has admitted to hospital. Patient is pale and attempt to complain of the strong dizziness, vomiting like coffee ground approximately hours ago. The blood pressure is this, pulse you can see that the patient will having the shock type of the symptoms. The patient has suffered from the ulcer of the stomach, painless form during 4 years. Ulcer was exposed at the gastrofibroscopy. So what you have seen? The patient has suffered, so he has the history of the ulcer. So history of the ulcers associated with the complicated with the bleeding. So what are the complications has been developed, and the complications we discuss. If the ulcers will be there will be the patients can be having perforations. If the ulcers can be there, the patients can having the post hemorrhagic anemia, and if the patients will be there, it can lead to the ulcers perforations. If ulcers perforations will be there, the patients will be having the bleedings. And or we can see the air in X-ray. There will be the air in X-ray will be seen. Okay. So this will be ulcer of the stomach that is complicated with the bleedings that you need to remember. The vomiting will be the coffee grounds. It can be the coffee ground colors, or means coffee ground color means like sorry, the coffee ground color, that means RBC, or the meat slopes can be given in the options. The meat slope or coffee means reddish color vomiting is there, that is the hemoptysis condition. Then after that, question number 17, heaviness in the right hypochondrium. What you have seen, the heaviness in the right hypochondrium is there. Itching of the skin. He has been treated with infectious disease hospital repeatedly due to icterus and itchings. Physical examination, meteorisms, ascites. Ascites means abdominal edema. Dilatation abdominal wall, protruded umbilicus, spleen enlargement. What can be diagnosed in this case? So what you have seen, this patients, ये भी हमने किया हुआ था liver cirrhosis. तो liver cirrhosis, if you see there is a ascites. The patient having the problem in the right hypochondrium. If the right hypochondrium is there, and the patients will be having the right hypochondrium, what you have seen, the liver will be present, and if the liver, we see the ascites means, ascites if there means the patients can having the liver failure type of the conditions. Liver cirrhosis, remember, liver cirrhosis, the other features we will see in case of the liver cirrhosis. The patients will be having the ascites, the patients will be having the flapping tremor, the patients will be having the encephalopathy, varicose vein, caput medusa, or hepatomegaly. So remember, all these can be the possibles in case of the liver cirrhosis. Then after that we will be having the next question: facial edema, moderate back pain, his temperature is 37, BP 180, hematuria, proteinuria, hyaline cast, specific gravity. The onset of the disease probably connected with acute tonsillitis that started 2 weeks ago. What is the most probable diagnosis? So this is what the acute glomerulonephritis. ये भी करवाया हुआ है शायद, ठीक है. So what we have seen, the hematuria, the proteinuria, why acute glomerulitis, nephrotic or the nephritic syndromes. So all these things will be seen in the questions. So if you see the hypertensions, like the facial edema is there, and hypertensions will be there. Along with that, you see the blood proteinuria, hematuria, facial edema, blood pressures, hematuria, the proteinuria. So what kind of conditions is this? Can it a nephritic or the nephrotic? Is it nephritic or nephrotic? Acute tonsillitis, which bacteria is there? Group A, beta hemolytic streptococcus. So that is which condition? The acute glomerulonephritis, nephrotic or the nephritic? Nephritic. Okay, pyelonephritis, we see the WBC cast, and glomerulonephritis, we say, yeah, I remember we discussed this question. Glomerulonephritis, we the RBC cast, and pyelonephritis, we see the WBC cast. Then after that, inflammation process, glucocorticoid reduce the level certain most important active enzyme. It also results in the reducing the synthesis of the prostaglandins and the leukotriene, which have the key role in the development. So did you revise the COX and LOX pathway? The COX and LOX pathway पढ़ा था हमने. COX and LOX pathway, मैं इमेज भेज देता हूँ, टाइम लग जाएगा नहीं तो. COX हमने नहीं पढ़ा था, मतलब like in your before previous times you studied the, it was the easy topics that we discussed in during the CROC one time. तो यहाँ पे क्या था, there is a cell membrane, like phospholipids is there. The phospholipids, it will, what it will form, the arachidonic acids. What will form? The arachidonic acids. And arachidonic acids, it is formed with the help of enzyme, that is the phospholipase A2. That is the phospholipase A2. And this arachidonic acid then further converted into the COX pathway and the LOX pathway. LOX pathway and the COX pathway. If COX means that can be the COX1, COX2, COX3, and this COX1 pathway like form the thromboxane A2, then form the prostaglandins I2 and the prostaglandins. Okay, in the LOX we form the leukotrienes. It form the leukotrienes. The leukotrienes will be formed that help in the inflammations for the bronchial asthma. All these things will be helped by the LOX. So यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है? For COX inhibition, what we have we have taken the drugs, and the drugs will be done, that is the NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. And non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, they are divided into the COX1 inhibitor, COX2 inhibitor, and COX3 inhibitor. Okay, the COX1 include the diclofenac, aceclofenac, aspirin. COX2 include the rofecoxib, solicoxib. COX3 include the paracetamol. COX1 include the aceclofenac, diclofenac, ibuprofen, aspirin. COX2 include the rituximab, celecoxib. COX3 it include the paracetamol. Okay. So and for the steroids, like if person is not able to treat these conditions, क्या आता है यार? The person will not able to treat these conditions, we can give the steroids, and the steroids inhibit the phospholipase A2. The steroids inhibit the phospholipase A2. Steroids inhibit the which enzymes? Phospholipase A2. It inhibits the phospholipase A2. So the question has been saying that we have the glucocorticoid, the steroid. So it will have action on the which enzyme? Phospholipase A2. Is that clear? With Dr. Soms. You can see the image also in the group. Then we discussed about the carpal tunnel syndromes. There is a fever at night, the pain will be severe at night, and the patients will having the thinner atrophy. After that, the patient will be having a 19-year-old man has been suffered from the moderate mental retardation since childhood. The patient is illiterate, can take care of himself, do simple household work and other kinds of easy work under the supervisions. So what does his revelations like tertiary preventions require? So this is the hygiene questions. A patient having the moderate. Now you can see this patient has been suffered from the moderate mental retardation since the childhood. The patient is illiterate. The patient is illiterate. After that, we have seen that patient is illiterate but still can take care of himself. The patient is illiterate but still can take care of himself. So do simple household work and other kinds of easy work under supervisions. What does his revelations? यानी कि tertiary prevention will require. For the tertiary preventions, what we have to all the options. None of the above mentioned. What we have seen, the physical work under supervisions. Yes, he should do the physical work under the supervisions because he is illiterate and having some moderate mental retardations. If he will not under the supervisions, definitely he can harm himself. Supervision of a social worker. Yes, any social worker has been required to maintain his mental health important. Supervision of the relatives, if any. Supervision of the guardian, supervisions of the relative has been required for these children because of mental health problem. So that's why all the options are correct and all options will be included in the rehabilitation program. Okay. Then after that, a patient was urgently admitted to the hospital with the complaint of the sudden weakness, dizziness, loss of consciousness, body weight loss, vomiting, severe pain in the epigastric area, skin hyperpigmentations. So what is the most probable diagnosis? So this patient, we can see there is a sudden weakness is there, dizziness is there, loss of consciousness is there. So see this kind of the question, like if we say the Addisonic crisis or the Addison disease. The Addison disease, remember, it is associated with the conditions called tuberculosis. They both are the best friends. Tuberculosis or the Addison disease, they both are the best friends. If you see, there is skin hyperpigmentation. The skin hyperpigmentation has been seen in case of the Addison crisis because of the increase in the melanocorticotropic hormone. Increase in the melanocorticotropic hormone will be there. What we will see in the Addison crisis, there will be the increase in the aldosterone level. There will be the increase in the aldosterone level will be there. So if you see the hyperpigmentation and aldosterone, like the symptoms will be there. So these patients will be having the Addison crisis. ठीक है. कुशिंग जो भी कुशिंग डिसऑर्डर हमने पढ़ा, कुशिंग डिजीज हमने पढ़ा, कुशिंग सिंड्रोम हमने पढ़ा. सो द कुशिंग सिंड्रोम का उल्टा क्या होता है? दैट इज एडिशन क्राइसिस. ठीक है, ये भी हमने किया था, वैसे तुम्हें याद हो नहीं हो या बताऊं इसमें कुछ ज्यादा? आई थिंक यार तुम्हें पता होगा ये. चलो कर लो थोड़ा सा, बाकी तो बताइए. मैंने मत कर माया को अभिमान. Meningoencephalitis we did, pellagra, scleroderma, gastroenteritis means the gastric involvement or the gastric ulcers can be seen. देखो कोई भी if any questions about the Addison disease will comes about the Addison disease. So Addison disease, remember, there will be the adrenal, A for addition, A for adrenal insufficiency will be there. The adrenal insufficiency will be there, and it is like it can be the primary or it can be the secondary, like the same as the Cushing syndrome or the Cushing disease. If we have the adrenal cause, we called it the primary. If adrenal cause, we called it the primary. If it is a secondary, if it like pituitary cause, then we called it the secondary. If adrenal cause, then pituitary. If it is the pituitary cause, we call this as the secondary. Okay, is that clear? So in this condition, why we will be having, there will be the secondary pituitary, it can also be secondary because we having seen that in the Cushing syndromes, if we have sometimes, if we abruptly or steroid withdrawal can be done, if the steroid withdrawal can be done, so it can be led to the patients can land up with the secondary addition disease. The patients can land up with the secondary addition disease. What are the clinical features you will see in these patients? The patients will be having the weakness. The patients will be having the weakness. The patients will be having the weight loss. The patient will be having the weight loss. Then this patient will be having the asthenia. The patient will be having the asthenia, anorexia, and fatigue will be there. Mostly we see the patient will have the weakness and fatigue will be there. The weakness and fatigue is very most common things we will see in this condition. Other than that, whatever the Cushing syndromes we studied, all the like the Cushing syndrome, we see the hyperglycemia. Here we see the hypoglycemia. Here we see the hypoglycemia. In Cushing syndrome, we see there is hypertension. Here we see the hypotension. Here we see the hypotensions will be there. Okay. And there will be the hypercalcemia also. There can be the hypercalcemia also can be theirs, and the patients will be having the most important features. If you see the patient having the hyperglycemia, hypotension, or the post-ural hypotension, what you see? If you see the patient having the hypoglycemia, hypotension, or the patient having the post-ural hypotension, means after like changing the positions, we see the hypertensions. So these are the most characteristics we can say, we can easily identify that this is the Cushing syndromes. Other than that, if you see that this patient will be having the hyperpigmentation, if the patients will be having the hyperpigmentations plus any of these features, so we can say that patient having the addition disease. Okay, if you see the patient having the hypercalcemia, along with this disorder, and the patient having some any like progressive to the hypercalcemia, so still we can consider this patient having the addition disease. The most important here is what, that is the hyperpigmentations. Along with that, these type of the features, we will see that this patient having the addition crisis, there is an increase in the aldosterone level will be there. Okay, what is the asthenia? Asthenia means abnormal like physical weakness, or the patient having the lacking of energy will be there. The patient will be having the lacking of energy will be there, and we can say the patient having the hypoglycemia. So of course the patient will be having the weakness, fatigue, weight loss. That's why the patient will be having the asthenia also. Okay, if you see the skin, sudden weakness, dizziness, loss of consciousness, body weight loss is there, nausea, vomiting, severe pain, skin hyperpigmentation. So what we have seen, that patient having the addition crisis. Any these clinical features along with the hyperpigmentations mark addition crisis. Okay. After that, next question. Unconscious patient presented with a moist skin, shallow breathing. There is a sign of previous injection of the shoulder and hips. ये किसके इंजेक्शन के निशान है? किस इंजेक्शन के निशान है ये? कौन से इंजेक्शन के निशान है शोल्डर और हिप पे? Can you tell me? An unconscious patient present with a moist skin, shallow breathing. There are the sign of previous injection on the shoulder or hip. Blood pressure is there. Tonoscale reflex increase. Cramp of muscles of extremity are seen. What is the most likely diagnosis? किसी ने नहीं लिखा अभी तक. So these are the sign of which injection? Insulin. They are a sign of the insulin. We have seen the unconscious patient. The unconscious patient was there. Why the unconscious patient? We will see. present with the moist skin, shallow breathing. They are the sign of previous injection on the shoulder and hips. So here it means the patient was hyperglycemic before, hyperglycemic, and he was taking the injection of the which one, insulin. He was taking the injection of the insulin. How I find that these are definitely the injection of the insulin? I went to the options: hypoglycemic, hyperlactacidomic, stroke, hyperglycemic coma, hyperosmolar coma. So that's on, based on that I find that okay, these patients can having the, in question also they're giving the injection sign, means this patient was hyperglycemic and he was taking insulin, and the shoulder or hips we give the insulin injection. And we have seen the tonus of the muscles are increased, the cramp of muscles is seen. So what is the most likely disorder? Now the patient has taken the insulin. If insulin high dose will be given, the patients will end up with hypoglycemia, or it is a hypoglycemic coma. Okay, so remember that things. If the patient having the hypoglycemic coma, means the patient is taking insulin. That's why the insulin should be avoided in empty stomach. So hypoglycemic coma, you see there is a sweating will be there, you see there will be the tremors, and you will see that their patients will be having the shock, anaphylactic shock. So you will see that sweating, tremors, or anaphylactic shocks. Okay, then now what you did, now patient was about the hyperglycemic patient. Okay, hyperglycemic patient, you gave them the insulin, along with that patient has seen that doctor give me the beta blocker also, like propranolol. He having the asthma also, and in that patient you give the beta blocker. तुम भी होशियार थे, you are the doctor, so you gave him the beta blockers. He have the asthma, okay, let me your doctors, and you gave the salbutamol to the patients. Now you give the salbutamol to the patients, that beta blockers you have gave. Now what it will do? Salbutamol, like beta blockers is given, sorry, the beta blockers you give. Now what the beta blockers will do, this tremors is due to beta 2 receptors, Now what you have seen, this beta blockers will mask this beta 2 symptoms, and it will mask the anaphylactic shock also. So what you will end up with? Sweating, whatever, only the things. If the patient has insulin higher dose, तो only you will see that patient will be having just sweating. अरे normal sweating है, किसी को भी हो सकती है. Sweating ही तो है ना, पसीने तो किसी को भी आ सकते हैं. Then suddenly these patients will collapse, and you say, ये क्या हुआ? I gave him the beta blockers. Everything was going comfortably. Then suddenly he got the collapse. He suddenly got the coma. Done. System done. System hang out हो गया उसका. So that is what we call this is a. That's why the beta blocker is contraindicated in diabetic patients. Okay, so beta blockers is contraindicated in diabetic patient. And remember, if hyperglycemia, it can be the control, but hypoglycemia, it is a very dangerous complication. Leptospirosis का question. Leptospirosis. What is the leptospirosis? What the triads we will see in the leptospirosis? हमने पढ़ा था leptospirosis. What we will see in case of the leptospirosis? It is spread by the, yes, dogs, rodent, farm animals, है ना? And what the symptoms we will see in case of the leptospirosis? Write me, please write me. Oh, you answered it. Whenever I was here, came here, then no one answered. But after that, everyone answered. Wow, nice. You are the brilliant. What, just jaundice? सिर्फ jaundice ही होता है क्या? और कुछ नहीं होता क्या? What others we will see? Fever, headache. I told you the triad ना, leptospirosis. हमने कर लिया ना कुल मिला के ये. There is a pain in the calf muscles. Leptospirosis is the pain in the calf muscles will be there, and along with that is a jaundice fever, myalgia will be there. ठीक है Mishra ji, that is the right one, that is jaundice fever. So what we have seen, the leptospirosis, salmonellosis, yersiniosis, ठीक है done. ये भी क्वेश्चन डन हो गया. राइट अपर क्वाड्रेंट टेंडरनेस, व्हाट वी हैव सीन, द कोलिडोकोलिथियासिस. ठीक है कर लेना इसको भी. आफ्टर दैट द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस आल्सो डन, दैट इज द यूफाइलम्स. यूफाइलम्स पहले भी आया था. That is contraindicated to the bronchial. I think this is the repeated question that we discussed in case of the pedia. Focal sided rhinopneumonia, do that questions. Okay, बस इतने कर लेना बहुत है आज के लिए. बाकी we will do it tomorrow. Most of the questions are repeated. हमने सब कुछ कर लिया क्या? हम इतने समझदार हो गए क्या? हमारे पास कुछ साइकेट्री के क्वेश्चन मुझे दिखाई दे रहे हैं, दैट वी डिडंट डू, बट आई थिंक डेलिरियम अल्कोहोलिज्म्स भी हमने कर लिया. वाओ. क्रायोप्रेसिपिटेट भी हम कर चुके हैं. कॉन्क्रीमेंट भी, कॉन्क्रीमेंट का मतलब होता है स्टोन. ठीक है. ट्यूबरकुलस मेनिंजाइटिस, रूइंड जियोग्राफी ऑफ द हैंड्स, मिट्रल स्टेनोसिस हमने नहीं करा है. कार्डियोलॉजी को छोड़ के आई थिंक अराउंड कुछ साइकेट्री के क्वेश्चंस है, बाकी मोस्टली हो गए. वी आर सो फास्ट मैन. इतना टैलेंट अपने अंदर. चलो ठीक है. सो टुडे और टुमारो मे बी वी विल, टुमारो और डे आफ्टर टुमारो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द पीडियाट्रिक्स. और भगवान ने चाहा तो हम 20 या 21 को खत्म कर देंगे. ठीक है. वी विल टेक ए लॉन्गर क्लासेस एंड देन वी विल फिनिश इट. बाय बाय. वी विल से गुड बाय, टाटा, टेक केयर. तो चलो डू दैट क्वेश्चंस एंड प्लीज डू द क्वेश्चंस ऑन द टेस्ट सेंटर वेबसाइट and do the questions, not just some questions. Try to do around 150 questions, and once you do the 150 questions, make sure that you send me the screenshot, whatever you marks you're getting, whatever the 60%, 70%, 80%, 90% or 100%, so that I can understand whatever I'm missing out. Maybe I'm incorrect, I'm not able to give you some informations that can be the lackings. So please keep sending me those things, so I will be keep updating you whatever the things will be there. So and everyone before my exam tomorrow, do 150 questions on the test center website and send me your result. ठीक है. It's not, I'm just saying frankly, I'm taking seriously. Everyone send me screenshot of 150 questions, whatever the questions you will open, whatever the question paper you will open on the test center website, do 150 questions and send me before the exam tomorrow. ठीक है. After the exams we will be having class, but before that everyone should send me. It doesn't matter if you didn't complete anything, if you don't complete anything, it does not matter. Okay, so please send me all solve the 150 question from the test center website and send me the screenshot of those questions. ठीक है. Okay, चलो bye bye, good night. And whatever the questions you will make wrong, try to take the screenshot and send me the screenshot as well.